Hello, friends, and welcome to the 24th episode of the Squad Pod, where we love to talk about all our favorite battle royales and multiplayer video games. I am Maddock Jr., and hot dropping into this week's podcast, we have the sharpshooting Fortnite skin buying Kevin A6. How's it going, Kevin?
Buying all the skins. I'm buying all of them, dude. I'm spending money left and right. It's a disease. I'm addicted. Oh
It's
my
an
god.
addiction.
Just wait, dude. When they announce more of these rumor ones,
Oof.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna spend at least $500 in this game.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be bad if there's a lot of video game people that I want to have on my squad.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
And also joining us and rounding out the squad for this week, we have the firefighter extraordinaire, Washburn.
Just putting them out, you know what I mean?
Whoa, he's putting them out.
Putting them out, dude. Saving lives,
Putting them
killing
out.
parking attendants.
He's doing it all with a hood up and unzip. Look at that, dude. No
Ooh,
zip up.
Hood on.
Unzipping it.
Why would you zip it up?
Zip it up? No.
No.
I mean, if you're gonna have a zip up hoodie, the point is to have it unzipped, right?
Yes.
I agree. Perfect.
Maybe it's a little chilly, you know? When it's chilly, do you zip it up or leave it unzipped?
It's not that chilly. It's just like casually chilly. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty cool.
Let's get into it. This week, we're going to go over the games that we've been playing and also create the Frankenstein Ultimate Battle Royale out of all parts of different battle royales that we like, as we have played a lot of them, at least 14 of them. So we'll start with the games we've been playing, and I guess we'll start with the Fortnite update since we already touched on that a little bit. Kevin, how you liking it so far?
It's all right. Pretty. I don't know how to say it. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a what is it? Bounty hunter season. So the bounty hunters, we got Mando in there.
Mando,
which is pretty cool. You get the season pass. You get him, but like every maybe 10 levels, you get a new quest to get another piece of his armor. So that's pretty cool. At the end, you get the full set of Beskar armor. You got Baby Yoda, and yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know. What do you guys think about it so far?
I think the changes they've made are ones that make it easier for me to understand the game. My biggest complaint with Fortnite over the past couple seasons has been like how difficult it is to understand challenges in the way they do them weekly and where you even locate those. And now they're just called quests. And so you just press the back button and there they all are. And I love that about it. There's not some big map table for you to go to and look around and show you 5 quests over here, 4 quests over there. Like that's gone. And I really appreciate that because I was always just so confused when I was looking at what I needed to do. And this one, it's just like, oh no, press the back button when you're in the lobby. It pulls up a little tab and your quests are right there. And I really like that about it. Fortnite. You know what I mean? No matter how much I play that game, I will never be good at it because I just don't feel a need to be good at building, and I get super frustrated when I get in a one-on-one situation.
You could be good at it easily. You know, you just go on PlayStation and you turn off crossplay, and then you can get 4 wins in a row. You know?
Yes, I could do that. Yeah. But I mean, people are just going to build all over me all the time. And I do I'm a casual as it gets Fortnite player. I'm not, I build. I mean, I do build and I know how to build, but I don't know how to build super ultra fast and throw down the jump pads and bounce myself over to somebody and then build up around them and then edit down and shoot them in the face. Like happens to me every other match. So like it's frustrating when that happens to you because it's just like, dude, if I was just playing a game with this kid, a regular ass game with a gun, 1-on-1, I'd whoop your ass in the goosh. You know what I mean? I'd demolish you in the goosh.
Whip his ass, dude. Whip it.
Like, meet me in the goosh, dude. You know what I mean? I'm tired of this building stuff. It's so dumb. It's just like so not what I want to do when I'm playing a video game. You know what I mean?
Same.
So
I'm actually
that's
shocked that they've never added a non-build mode as even like a timed, limited time mode.
yeah. I mean that's Fortnite though, and
Yeah.
that's what makes Fortnite, and people love that and whatever. If you're into it, like good for you. Do you? I'm just not. It's not my style of game. Everything else about it, I enjoy. Something that's just still crazy to me is that I can boot up my Xbox and buy a Kratos skin.
Yes.
You know, just to even think about that. And you do have to play as him on PS5 to get that armored style. But still, it's cool that you can get the
Wait,
skin
wait,
on
what?
Xbox. So if you play a game as Kratos on PS5, Kevin, you get like armored Kratos, and he was wearing like the gold armor.
Does that carry over
Oh.
to Xbox?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, sure. I need to do that
But
then.
yeah, so I did it once, and we'll talk about PS5 triggers and stuff in a little bit. But like, yeah, I did it I booted it up, played a game as Kratos, and got the gold armor and turned the PS5 off. And yeah, it carried over. But I'm sure I'll continue to play it. I mean, it's as frustrating as I get with it. It is fun to sort of just jump in there with you guys and sort of goof around and say, "Oh, we got to go do this challenge. Oh, let's go over here and do this," rather than try and lock in for victories.
And hop in a car and have like just radio music blasting.
Mhm.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
Love that.
it's more of a platform to just sort of hang out and bullshit around in, almost akin to Fall Guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In that regard, where we're not always necessarily going for high competitive gameplay. We're just in it and messing around. But I mean, we've won here and there, and that's nice. But I don't know. It's Fortnite. I'm not gonna jump into Fortnite and think I'm gonna be any good at it. It's just something that I do for fun.
Yeah. I mean, when the season released, I turned on Dr. Lupo's stream and was just watching those guys for a little bit, and it like almost gives you a headache with how
Mhm.
fast they're moving the mouse around and swinging the camera around and editing and building and whatever. You can't even tell what's happening. And honestly, I know I'm never going to be that good, and I am never going to put enough effort to be that good. So there's that. But overall, I feel like this is like your average Fortnite update. The last one with the Marvel season felt like a lot more because it was like, I think we were just all like, look at all the skins that we can unlock that are Marvel themed, which is awesome, right? But it was still your average update where there's a few places on the map that have switched and are different now. And there's a bunch of little hidden secrets that you can find. And that stuff's all cool and good. And it's what keeps Fortnite going. And I'm sure more things will be added and removed during the season because they love doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I liked the new places that they've added on the map are very interesting. The fact that there's a crashed Razor Crest on the map is awesome.
They bought back Tilted, sort of.
Yeah, they've like the sand at the center seems to be showing mostly season 1 locations as far as I can tell, because there's like those two buildings, the warehouse
Dusted
building.
Depot.
Dusted Depot is back in there too. There's like a few other things as well that just indicate a seemingly return to the simple map, I guess. But map changes are map changes, and it keeps it interesting to a certain degree. Though they did add a Coliseum, and you know what a Coliseum is kind of like? A gulag. You know what I'm
Goosh.
saying?
Ooh. Think they're adding
Ooh,
Googe?
what if they did that?
Yeah, I would lose every time. I mean, if they put a Goosh in Fortnite, I would never win.
And it was
No,
building, and you had like
yeah,
mats.
because people would
Yeah.
build over me and I'd lose. That's
Yeah.
just how that would go. Unless I went up against somebody that was like me that knows how to build a wall and a staircase to peek over, then
Yeah.
I'm losing that fight.
True. And then the Mando and the quest thing I like a lot. Definitely keeps you a little bit interested, and I'll probably try and hop in like once a week. Probably that's
Yeah.
about as much as I can do, because
Yeah.
what happens is we don't play for a couple days. I think the game wants you to succeed when you haven't played for a couple of days, and we do well and get kills and kill bots and then potentially win. And then after that, it's all downhill and not fun anymore because we're getting to the end game where there's just cracked out kids with 3 or 4 teams left that are just building all over the place and there's no stopping them.
It's just not a. We're Warzone guys. You know what I mean? Like that's just the game that we know, and that's the.
Well,
game
it's also the game we grew up with.
Yeah, and it's just the game that like we're so used to because that's pretty much all we play on the battle royale front anymore. Say a random one here or there, but like I'm never gonna make the switch to being just a Fortnite player. It's just not gonna happen. I don't enjoy it. It's not fast enough. It's just too silly a little bit for me in terms of gameplay. But I'll literally take that out of it, and everything else about Fortnite is awesome.
Agreed.
Just like as a platform, Kratos being there, there's a big chance we're gonna see Master Chief in it, which would be super cool. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of Nintendo character, whether it's Samus or Captain Falcon, because they're trying to put in bounty hunters or something like that. So we'll see. I imagine Thursday at the Game Awards we'll get 1 or 2 big announcements.
Yeah, for sure. I'm kind of hoping they add like a Sam Fisher or
Altair
or something like that.
Kevin pointed this out to me. When you like hover over Kratos, it says he's like part of the video game Legends set.
The game Legends series, something like that.
Yeah, when you put that in there, that comes with a certain expectation that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be surprised at a Sam Fisher.
Yeah, because they have like the streamer series, and they already have like 4 streamers in there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it'll be super exciting to see what they do next.
And they know that like cool skins will sell decently well in the store, but skins with tie-ins are gonna sell like incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
So, because there's people that will just come in just to get them, even though they only play every once in a while. Like us, kind of.
Like me, yeah. I'll buy anything. Like I bought Kratos.
Yeah.
I'll buy Master Chief. I'll buy
100%
Samus if they put
Master
Samus
Chief.
in. It's this. Yeah, those are like no brainers.
They're announcing it. You think they're announcing it? They have to be announcing it this Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Master Chief.
And it will probably be live like almost immediately. Would be my guess.
Dude.
I imagine on Thursday we'll get.
Kratos was Thursday.
Yeah. We're if they do 1 a week, that would be insane. If just you thinking about all the characters that they could bring in, sort of hard to wrap your mind around. So I'm excited to see what they do, whether it's Master Chief or what I'm really excited to see is what Nintendo might or might not give them. If Nintendo's even gonna play nice, we'll see, because Nintendo's not been playing nice recently.
What do they got that they can bring in? I can only think of like Samus,
Captain Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
Split maybe. I mean, you gotta go narrow it down to characters that have some sort of human shape.
Yeah,
what I mean? And like when I think of Nintendo, like those are really the big 2. Maybe a Fire Emblem character.
Gross. We have enough of those in Smash.
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, they're not going to give them a Zelda character. That's just not going to happen.
What if they do?
It won't. There's no.
There's no way. You have to keep in mind that like Fortnite is on Switch, and like for every transaction that's on Switch, I'm sure Nintendo gets like some cut of it. So they can probably be persuaded a little bit, because there's probably a large amount of sales that happen on the Fortnite Switch platform.
Yeah, I don't know what other characters outside of like Samus and some F-Zero people you could put in. It's hard to think about. And they really could do the thing with Samus like they did with Iron Man, where you start out as Zero Suit and there's a couple challenges for her that allow her to, morph into maybe even the fusion suit would be super cool. So yeah, we'll see.
They've definitely gone to the next level with character specific animations as well.
I wish when they brought in Kratos, they had like a Kratos thing going on in the map too, because I wanted to see that. And then like when if they bring in Master Chief, have like I don't know the Covenant in there too in the map, and then like they had Samus in there. Oh man, they bring in Ridley. Oh, imagine all the stuff they could have put
It's
on the
not
map.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that some of these things integrate somehow into the map, I would guess, given the last season's
Yeah,
boss
Maybe.
battle type things,
yeah.
and like Deadpool being on the map previously as well.
Can't wait. Can't wait to see what they announce on Thursday.
Yes, but Thursday is so far away. Battlefield 4, you guys played a little bit, I think, or at least did you play Wash?
Yeah.
Okay, I was not there that night.
There's not really much to talk about here. It's old.
It's old.
It's
It's
old and
fun
it
though.
doesn't.
It's kind of
Yeah,
fun.
it's fine. It's fine. It's.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's a bad game because it's most certainly not. Especially in its time.
Mhm.
Just looking at it now, I'd so much rather play Battlefield 5. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't play Battlefield 5 that long ago and had a real good time.
it's just old. I mean, it hasn't. It's aged okay, but it shows its age. It definitely
Yeah.
does.
Is that's an Xbox One game, early gen or
early.
okay?
Like first year.
Mm.
Like for me, Battlefield has been a frustrating franchise forever. Because I always do feel like I'm running around a lot and dying and
Mm.
not really engaging, especially on Conquest in the larger maps.
Yeah.
Team Deathmatch is another story, but really the marquee modes, I feel like I'm just running and dying and sort of just rinse and repeat, and I'm not really engaging as much as I want to. But I guess that's because I'm not playing it right. I'm playing it like I'd play Call of Duty, and that's
Yeah.
not how you're supposed to play those modes. You're supposed to be a little bit more
Strategic.
strategic in how you go about things, and maybe use the vehicles and the levolution to your advantage. But I think the reason I like Battlefield 5 so much over 4 is that they really did up the levolution, over time. And Battlefield 5, I feel like you can destroy just damn near anything. You can
Yeah, it's
just
very cool.
almost level the map. And Battlefield 4, like there's certain things that they want you to destroy and certain things that are not destroyable. So yeah, I mean, Battlefield 4 is fine. If anything, I'm just excited to see them come back to the modern day with Battlefield and what that could look like. And
Yeah.
not in a battle royale setting. I don't think Battlefield needs a battle royale. I think Battlefield needs to be Battlefield, and they need to elevate that and do the best they can in a modern day setting.
I mean, if they do because like they were doing like 50v50 or 60v60, I feel like maybe with this generation they could up that count a little bit and make it a little wilder. Because vehicles and nonsense like that are a big part of the Battlefield franchise, I would say.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun.
Alright.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Liked
it's
it.
fine.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's pretty fun.
I'm sure it's what you would expect mostly.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to age as poorly as I think it did.
Mm.
And I don't know if that's Kevin. I don't know if you want to chime in on that. I was playing it on the Series X, and I don't know if playing it on that hardware and on a newer monitor really helped. I think if I went back and played it maybe on one and like maybe just a 1080 monitor, it might look a little bit crisper than what it's trying to do on the Series X and the 1440. But yeah, in my eyes, like the way I was running it, it just didn't look very good, man. It just looked a little bit fuzzy, and just not as sharp as I wanted it to.
I think just switching to a 1080p monitor would help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm playing on a 4K TV, and then I saw like how the game really looks like, and I'm like, damn, this game aged a lot. But the gameplay's still fun. I like that. I like the gunplay and stuff. But yeah, it didn't look too good. But we played a few games here and there, and it was fun. We missed out on watching the tower fall, which sucked. We rage quit the game forever.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to come up with a way in Battlefield, and whenever I see the next one, this is really what I'm going to judge it on, is how do you unlock weapon attachments? because it's confusing as shit in every game. And how do you add those attachments to your weapon? Because
Mm.
as far as I can remember, you have to be in a game to customize your loadout, and that just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
And the way that you unlock attachments doesn't make sense to me, and they need to streamline it somehow. And I'm not saying just copy what Call of Duty does, even though everybody should because it's perfect. But they need to make it better and more understandable for a casual player as to how you unlock and equip those weapon attachments because, boy, it's confusing.
I think it's better
Yeah.
on Battlefield 5 because you could do it not in the game if you want to edit a class. And I think it to get
Yeah, I
new
remember that.
attachments. I think it tells you what to do if you hover
Mm.
over them. I think so. I don't remember too much though. Or something
All
like
right. Well, speaking of games that we only have a little bit to talk about of here, we have Sea of Thieves and Washburn's first experience.
what you think about it,
Uh,
Watch? We
it's
put you
not my
in.
first time playing Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
I've been pretty vocal about I don't want to say dislike for Sea of Thieves. I'll say I just don't understand Sea of Thieves. I never have. I
Mm.
just playing it, it seems like there's no tangible reward for anything you do in the single player mode, and that's why I don't understand why I would even play it. Like, why should I play it? There's nothing to unlock. I'm not getting better at anything.
The grind is horrible in that game.
Yeah,
Also,
it doesn't make sense to me. But we jumped into arena mode, which does make sense to me and is a lot of fun. And I would play it anytime y'all asked because I think this is really fun. You jump in, it's teams of 4, I think up to 5 teams of 4. Um, you're all on a ship that's built, to be maneuvered by 4 people. And the goal is to get treasure and bring it to a point in the center of a map, and that's how you score the most points, right? And there's like a time limit, of course, and of course you're battling the other teams, right? So that makes sense to me. It's PvP, there's a clear goal, let's go. Like, I understood that, and I actually had a bit of fun with it when we played it. The only issue is just match times, waiting times are so high. But I mean, yeah, if I would be super down to try it again.
yeah, I think more people are playing the adventure mode than arena mode at this point. But
I
I've
just don't
played a bit of
understand that
arena
mode.
before, and it's enjoyable,
Yeah,
but
when
also
I
difficult.
played adventure mode, it was just like, oh, let's go over here and get this treasure and bring it back to this person. Okay, well, what are we gonna get for doing that? Oh, maybe some gems. But what are you gonna do with those? Oh, you can save them up and maybe buy a new skin for your gun. It's just like, you know what I mean? Come on, dude.
Yeah,
Like, you got to give me something to work for. Like, you really do. Like, if this was more like Black Flag, where I started out with a crappy ship and was working my way up to like a really cool ship, then I'd understand. But it's just like, oh, we're gonna go grind this thing for a currency that might buy us some cosmetics that are way too expensive. So I just think for me, it's just a waste of time.
for sure. Kevin, what did you think?
I had fun with it. Yeah, the grind of it. It's just all you're doing is getting money and getting skins for a gun or your ship or your clothing and stuff like that. So
Nothing's any better than anything else either, I don't think.
yeah, and I think the fun part of the game is actually just playing with your friends. Like
Hmm.
if you have a crew to go in and just sail around and just shoot the shit, and talk about some things here and there, go for treasure. I think that's what makes it fun. And then
And then sometimes, finding someone
yeah,
else that's an actual person on the map and
yeah, and that's when stuff
trying
gets
to
heated
steal
up.
all their treasure. And yeah,
Yeah, that's when shit goes down. But yeah, other than that, like I'd rather not don't like play this game alone. Maybe get a crew with you. And then in the arena mode, yeah, I don't know why. I guess people are not playing it. I guess people do like the adventure mode a lot more than the arena mode. Even though the arena mode
they've also
is a lot of fun
added
too.
a lot of content to the adventure mode semi recently, I feel like. So that's
Yeah,
probably where people are grinding out things right now.
yeah. I don't know exactly what they added. Yeah, but I know they added a lot. I know you can like find a kraken, and the kraken can attack you. There's a
Big
big
sharks
shark.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a I don't know what else there. There's other things, right?
It's cool. It's just not the grind for me personally.
Mhm.
Me neither. Yeah,
Because it doesn't feel rewarding, like you
no.
said.
I never feel like I'm getting anything out of it that's worthwhile.
All right. And then, Kevin, do you want to touch on a Rainbow Six optimization that you have played with a little bit?
Let me tell you guys, Rainbow Six Siege, it's optimized.
No, it's optimized.
It's optimized. Oh, dude, it's so much smoother now when I play it. Cause like before, like when I played on the 1X, even like there'd be like some dips here and there, but now it's just straight smooth, like 60 frames. And then you can play this game in 120 frames too. And then like when I was playing the game, I was like, damn, it feels like I'm playing on PC now. It feels that
Mhm.
good.
That makes sense.
And I'm liking it. But then again, it's tough playing that game alone too, because then people try hard so much. And I was like, damn, dude, these kids are good, but they really want me to be good with them. And I'm like, damn, I'm just trying this game out for a bit. Just let me
Yeah.
do my thing.
Yeah. I feel like that game and Valorant are like on the same level of like, if you're going to play, people want you to be competitive.
Even on like not in unranked unranked matches. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
funny. It's like, damn, dude. But then like I was playing a bit of it, and then like I was getting really into it. And I was like, damn, all right, I'm actually gonna play and be serious because I'm actually having fun with this. I'm
But the
checking out.
optimization's good.
Yeah,
Uh,
it fucking it's running that game really smoothly. You can do 4K 60, or you can do the 120 frames.
good.
And I could just put on 120 frames on the game, even though my TV can't run it. I just do it just so it can just get up to that frame. It won't dip below 60. If anything, when it dips, when it does that, it will dip to like it'll go down to 60 if anything. So it'll be smooth for me no matter what. So yeah,
Good
the
call.
Awesome.
optimization is really good. You guys should try it out if you have it. We should try it out for the whole team. Oh, you guys don't like it? I forgot.
Yeah,
It's
I played
not that I
Rainbow
don't
Six
like
Siege
it.
Yeah, I played it once and got absolutely decimated. The first thing that
It's
happened when I played it is two of my teammates killed each other in waiting, and then I went around a corner and some dude just ended my life because he knew exactly where I was going to be. I was like, oh, well, I'm too late to this party. So,
yeah, that's how I feel as well. The too late to the party thing.
yeah.
But also in terms of like amount of characters and understanding what's going on, it's just like I'm way too late on this. I'm not going to take the time to figure it out, and it's going to take far too long. I think I told someone in the Discord this recently that it's going to take far too long for us to get enjoyment out of it. There'd be too much suffering at the front end for us to like warrant
think
spending that many hours playing the game.
if you just focus on like the first batch of people you can play as in the game, you'll be fine. You rarely see people do like the new people. Every so often you do see that, but yeah, like when I don't know the new people too from like the past 2 years. I just
Mhm.
I'm using the people like the first 2 years of the game when it first came out, and I've been pretty good with it. I
Mm.
stick with like the 4 characters I always play as, and that's what I'm sticking with.
Also, the characters have specific guns, and you can't really customize them, or am I confused there?
No, you can customize their gun. You can put attachments on their guns and stuff. But yeah, they have
But they have
specific guns.
specific weapons.
Yeah, you just gotta check
Okay.
on that too, like exactly what do you want to play with and who and what their like ability is too. So
Yeah.
shouldn't be. I don't think it's too hard to. No, just pick 4 people and stick with them. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And if you
How
want, dabble
many?
with the other
What's
ones too.
the team size?
6,
6, 5?
I think 6 or 5.
Okay.
I wasn't really paying
I
attention
mean,
to that.
we could obviously get enough people to do it,
Yeah.
but
Man, it's just I love that game. Even though I play it like every so often, I just like going back into it, breaching doors, zipping down a wall.
don't get me wrong. Like old Rainbow Six is some of my favorite games of all time too. So
Yeah,
it's just the fact that this one's so focused on like the multiplayer aspect of it is the tough spot,
yeah.
I think, because it's such a tactical, strategic wait and hold angles and stuff like that. Kind of like Valorant, I guess. But
God, I just love that. With holding that angle, and then like once you hear shots being shot off, like in another room, you're like, oh crap, I gotta go and see what's going on and help them. It just gets crazy sometimes. Man, what a game!
Yeah.
But yeah, that's optimization with Rainbow Six. It's pretty cool. I like it. I might go
I
back to it.
wonder. Yeah. I've been playing so much keyboard and mouse recently. I wonder if like I tried to play it on controller, how that would go. Probably poorly, but
Oh
well.
yeah. I mean, I wonder if you could just plug in a keyboard and mouse into it.
Oh, maybe. I
I
tried to
don't
do that with Halo on and it was like, nah,
know. It's not compatible with it, I'm guessing.
no,
Yeah,
it's not.
I know some games aren't. Some games aren't, but yeah.
All
I mean,
right. And Kevin, do you want to touch on your NHL 94 Rewind
that game is hard to
experience?
play, dude. But it's fun. That game, when I booted it up and picked the teams
Mhm.
and got into the gameplay, I was like, oh shit. This is the game I used to play, like I think on a Sega Genesis or something like that. Because I remember playing an
Mhm.
NHL game back in the day, and I think this was it. And I was like, oh, okay, because I remember the stars being like, that's who you are, and then who has the puck and stuff like that. I was like, dude, this is the game I remember playing so much when I was a kid, and the only sports game I would play when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Man. It was really fun going back and seeing this game again and playing around with it. But man, I was like, damn, I don't remember how to play exactly and how to shoot to get a goal. But it's taking me a little bit of time to figure that out. But I want to go back and play it again. And I wish I had multiplayer to play with my
I
friends.
know.
Man, dude, that would
That
have been
would be
so much
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Have you guys played it?
I have not
I've
yet.
not.
Oh, dude, it's on Game Pass now, so you don't need NHL 21 pre-order anymore. So you guys need to try it out. Oh man, it brought me back memories. It's so
Yeah, I'm
much
sure.
fun.
I'm sure we'll do the same for both of us as well.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a little fun game. Game Pass, get it. Go get Game Pass too, because it's might as well.
Now it's our favorite time of the podcast where we get to throttle the DualSense controller. How was Worms Battle Royale or something? I don't know what it is.
Worms.
Game is fun. Game is fun. DualSense is a garbage controller for shooters.
Yeah. So we
It
figured.
is. It's bad.
So when I was playing Worms the first night, I was playing with
Mhm.
Mike and JD. I was using the haptic triggers, so I had like a little tension to it. But then
Yeah.
like,
A little.
yeah, there's a little tension to it. It's like,
I mean, but for me, it's like it stops your trigger pull.
yeah, that's what it is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, like you go halfway and but it pretty much kind of shoots
Mhm.
for it. Yeah, that's what it was. So I kind of got like, I didn't get used to it, but it felt weird. And then I think you told me, Washburn, that you turned it off, and it didn't feel
Worse.
right. Yeah, it felt worse, and I turned it off too. And I was like, man, this trigger does not feel good if it doesn't have
No.
that trigger effect thing.
Ooh. Oh, interesting.
The triggers are built with the haptic feedback in mind. And it's super obvious once you turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
When you're playing a shooter and your trigger gets stopped like halfway, like right here, when you pull the trigger and then you click it in and it shoots. It's like, okay, that's cool, but it's hella annoying because like I end up just like pulling the trigger really hard. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Yeah.
then I'll go and turn it off and notice that, oh, these triggers actually just kind of suck for like shooters because it's a super long pull. Like it has to go a ways. And you never know when it's gonna trigger the gun. Because even when you turn it off, the halfway down is gonna trigger the gun. It's not like you're clicking it all the way in to trigger the button press. The button press gets triggered like halfway down with or without the haptic feedback. So you never know what you're gonna do. Like it's I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of it. I think for single player games, it'll be fine. I didn't have much of a problem with it on Spider-Man at all, really any. Um, but man, for shooters, it's awful. I don't vibe with it at all. And now I know I will never play a shooter on that console ever. It just won't happen. I will always play a shooter on the Series X.
Yeah, because that controller is much better for shooters. That trigger is just really good. That Xbox One or Xbox controller. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that trigger feels great. It feels like you don't. Yeah, you don't. It feels like you don't have to go too far down to pull the trigger. on the.
No, and it's always a full pull. Like
yeah.
that's the thing with the haptic feedback that messes up the whole trigger pull on a shooter specifically. And I'm talking about shooters. I'm not talking about other games because like I said, on Spider-Man it was fine. And I imagine on Horizon it'll be fine because that's a bow. You know what I mean? It's not a locked trigger. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I imagine on Horizon you'll be pulling it and it'll fight you a little bit and then you let go and it shoots the arrow. It's not going to be like you push it halfway down and it locks in place and then you have to click it in like a GameCube controller. It feels like a GameCube controller. That's what it feels like. And you never know when you turn that off where the button press registers on the pull. And so when you out of habit, because I've been playing on Xbox for years and every other console ever, you pull the trigger all the way in. That's just what you do, right? When you're shooting a gun, I never, when I'm shooting a gun on this controller, I never just go halfway. I'm pulling the trigger. But on DualSense, you never know how far in that is.
Yeah.
And so when you pull the trigger on DualSense, you begin to notice, oh, that's a really long pull with quite a bit of tension, even without the haptic feedback on. So it sucks for shooters. That's my verdict on it. And until somebody can prove me wrong with a game that doesn't suck on that thing, that's a shooter. I won't play a shooter on the PS5 ever again.
All
right. Well then, that's
fair.
fair.
Worms is pretty fun though.
The game Worms is dope. Yeah, it's super fun.
I liked it.
All right. Well, that's our daily dose of DualSense. And then yesterday we all played a fun game called Ember, where we fought fires. And it was a good old time.
Quick take on this because I was having fun with it, but then the game was chugging a lot. And then like I got off of it and I restarted my computer and I went back to the game. It worked perfectly. So I just needed to restart my computer. And
that's weird.
I was pissed. And I was like, damn it, I really wanted to play this a lot smoother because I was dropping to 10 to 20 frames and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
But I liked it. Seeing people, not saving people. And the house exploding was fun.
And there's like a ton of upgrades and different things that you can try and do to like make it more efficient to save people. And there's always a bank vault thing that you can break into and steal the money, and you can grab the TV and the computer off the wall and get bonus money for taking the stuff.
Apparently TV's more important than people, from what Watchman's been telling me.
Yeah.
Save the TVs.
Save the TVs. Yep. It was a lot of fun. It's goofy. It's like physics-based, fire physics-based, if you will, in a fun way, in my opinion. And it's just like goofy and hilarious. And all of a sudden you're, chucking a skeleton around for the fun of it in the lobby and cracking up, shooting it down a slip and slide.
Yeah, it says this is a good one. It's unfortunate that I don't think it's that well optimized. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what maybe spurred the issues Kevin was running into. I know he said he restarted his computer is fine, but for me, lots of visual glitches here and there. Like the floor or windows just wouldn't pop up on my screen at all.
Oh yeah, that happened to me too.
That was happening quite a bit. And man, this thing made my graphics card sing, and it should not have. I have a 2070 and this thing really and I turned this thing on low and boy it made it sing. And I it's just like, come on, dude. Like there are games that I play with more graphical fidelity than this that are silent. You know what I mean? That where my graphics card is just like shrugs it off and it looks great. But this one, even though I turned it on low, it just it was loud, and they're gonna have to figure that out.
It's technically still in beta, I believe.
Yeah,
and it was a free to play weekend this weekend, so that's why we hopped in. But it's on sale for like $13 right now. If anyone's interested.
Even if you take the performance out of just take the performance out of it, the game itself is super fun. It's silly. It's a dumb co-op multiplayer experience, and something that you absolutely must play with friends. Otherwise, just don't play this game. If you don't have at least one other friend to play this with, don't solo it. It won't be fun. I don't
Yeah.
think solo in this game would be fun at all.
Nah.
But with friends and sort of just yelling at each other, go up to the third floor, save this guy. Somebody drop a trampoline so I can throw him down on it. And it's goofy. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. And I would recommend giving it a shot. Yeah, and I hope it comes to consoles.
Yeah, who knows? Probably. That seems like the type of game that would sell pretty well on consoles or be an excellent addition to Game Pass, honestly.
Mhm.
But yeah, I had a good time, and hopefully it gets optimized a little better and improves a little much. The only thing that was kind of weird about it was I felt like some of the upgrades were like worth it, and then some upgrades I felt like didn't make a difference. I don't know if you felt that way with Washburn, especially with the fire extinguisher.
Oh yeah. So I mean, the upgrades I didn't notice really at all.
Yeah. Except the auto refill. That one was good.
Yeah, that one was cool. And I would recommend just dumping your money into like tools themselves, and not really their upgrades. Get the trampoline, get the jump pad. I think it's pretty cool. The grappling hook, those types of things. Fire extinguisher was worthless unless you were using it for like pushing gas.
Yeah. And then I think Washburn, you've been playing a little bit of the newest Ubisoft game, Immortals Phoenix Rising, I believe is what it is called.
Yeah, as of this morning, I'm a little over 8 hours into it, according to my save, and all 8 hours have been fun, and that's all I can ask for in a game, honestly. And we talked last week about Assassin's Creed and these bigger games that are coming out and blah blah blah, and I don't want to retread on that, but this game is fun from minute one. You turn it on, and it's like, oh, this is goofy, this is colorful, I understand this, and go. You know what I mean? And I haven't had a dull moment with it in the 8 hours that I've put into it so far. It's completely stolen my attention away from Assassin's Creed, which I feared it would. But I love this one. I think this is a game of the year contender. I think people who are bitching about the humor need to lighten up a little bit and stop going into this game expecting some sort of high level of writing, because that's not what you're going to get. If you go into this game and put yourself in the headspace of this is a Pixar movie that's a little bit inappropriate, you're gonna love it. I like, for me, the jokes are just landing. Everything's landing, and I know people are saying like, oh, it's a lot of the humor just it missed so much of it missed. Like, for me, that's not the case. It's dumb. Like, the writing in this game is dumb and silly, and if you go in knowing that and you're okay with that, then you're gonna love it, and I love it. It's just so much fun to me. This game really is a banger. I would recommend it to anyone and everyone. It does riff on Breath of the Wild a lot, from the stamina bar to the way that the world is constructed. Kevin was asking me yesterday, how big's the world? And I was telling him it even that feels like Breath of the Wild, where you look at this world and it's like, oh, it's not too big. I should be able to get over there pretty quick. And then you start running around and it's just like, oh no, this is a lot bigger than I thought it was. So yeah, it's gorgeous. Just from an art direction standpoint, is it the most impressive graphical fidelity you'll see this year? Absolutely not. But just from the direction of it, it's great. It's something with color. It's refreshing. I love the main character. She's really thinks she's really cool, and she's just not at all. And that's part of the humor for me. She'll get up and like flex on top of mountains and think she's all badass, and she's really just kind of a lowly shield bearer who gets lucky a lot. And I think it's all just hitting. This game is firing on all cylinders right now, and I just want to play more. It's like all I want to do is play more.
Think you'll finish in time before Cyberpunk?
The real
I
questions.
I think with the main quest, yes, because this game is sort of like Breath of the Wild, where the main quest is the smaller slice. You know what I mean? And then there's all the open world stuff that you can go and do. And so there's 4 deities, just like 4 divine beasts. You go in, you scout their area, they send you on a couple errands, you get their essence, you bring them back to their normal selves. So I've saved Athena and Ares, or sorry, Aphrodite and Ares. I'm saving Athena right now. Um, and I'll save the 4th one shortly hereafter. But yeah, I think I could finish this one before Cyberpunk, and I might force myself to because Cyberpunk comes out this week.
Yep.
For me, in the way my personal life schedule is, I just don't think diving into Cyberpunk right now is in my best interest until I have this big break here. So I might just chip away at this, and then once my holiday break rolls around, I might pop in Cyberpunk and really, really dive in. Because Cyberpunk's going to be one of those games that I don't play on weeknights if I'm playing it during a work week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I am with most heavy narrative games. I won't play them Monday through Thursday. I just won't, because that's just my brain is already occupied with other things. And when I come home, I'm either too tired or too distracted to sort of sink myself into that narrative headspace. And Cyberpunk's going to fall into that category as well, for sure. So I might just hold off on it till the big holiday break where I can sort of clear my head and dive into that and really focus on it. And Immortals, as goofy and fun as it is, the narrative's not groundbreaking. You know what I
Sure.
mean? This isn't something that you have to pay attention to that heavily. You get it, right? Like
Yeah.
you go and they tell you, "Oh, go and do this thing and save this, turn this god, this Greek deity back to normal selves. Do that 4 times." They each have, some funny dialogue here and there. Then you're going to go fight the boss. And that's kind of just what the game is. But and you can have an issue with that. I love that because it just so light. You know what I mean? I don't need another Assassin's Creed heavy narrative. I don't need it right now. It's not what I'm looking for. This kind of is exactly what I'm looking for in terms of I can just pop this on, run around this open world, catch a cutscene or two that may or may not really matter, and giggle a little bit and turn it off. And that's what this game is. So yeah, I'm super, super into this. I'm very high on it. I think everybody should give it a shot. Don't go into it expecting Breath of the Wild Part 2. It's not as good as Breath of the Wild. Okay, I mean we all know that. Nothing's gonna be that good until Breath of the Wild 2, sort of in that genre. But it's really good, man, and it does separate itself from Breath of the Wild in ways that are significant, while sort of still adhering to that same formula of this big open world that's really built on exploration and just looking over there and seeing, oh, that looks cool, and working your way over to it. Um, it's a great one. I really, really enjoy this game right now.
Awesome. Yeah, this week was going to be a very big week. It's calmed down a little bit because Warzone integration with Cold War got pushed back to the 16th instead of the 10th, which is a bummer. But, hey, if it works when it comes out, I'll be happy, And if there's a new map, I'll be even happier. But we'll have to wait and see what news they announce this week. And if all that comes down the pipe, we'll let you know next weekend what we think about the news and Cyberpunk and whatever Game Awards announcements we potentially get this week that would be of interest to our little podcast here. But until then, we are going to build the ultimate battle royale experience by piecing together different parts of battle royales that we have enjoyed over this last however many episodes, 4 episodes.
5. I don't remember.
It's the 24th episode, but
Gotcha.
we didn't play a battle royale for every single one of them. We have at least played 14 and ranked them, so that might be a little bit off in terms of total amount, but we're just going to start out with some categories, and we're just going to see where our conversation takes us. But so my first question would be our setting. Where do we want? Like, what's the best map that we've played, or the map that we think is more interesting than the other ones? Does anyone have any
So the map will
thoughts
have
on that?
to. I can choose a map. I have to know how many people we can have in this battle
Ooh,
royale.
okay. Do you wanna start with a number count then?
What's Warzone?
Oh, 150.
150, really? What was that,
Yeah.
Washburn? What do you want? What do you want? How many?
100.
He wants 100
That's
because
100.
nice
Standard.
even number.
Yeah, I can do 100. Let's do 100 right now.
100 sounds good to me too.
Man, setting. What
Because
have
like
we?
if I look at this list, I'm thinking like the Warzone map, probably not the one for me personally. I mean, it's good, but it's not specifically memorable. There's 3 Apex maps now for 100 players, maybe not. Spellbreak, Realm Royale fall into that category of like not memorable at all maps, in my opinion. If Super Animal Royale's map was 3D, that'd be pretty hilarious.
I would
But-
have to say something. So, are we just picking one? Like, is this
we're just
a
like-
a mishmash?
Yeah,
We're
it's a
taking our
mishmash
favorite parts of every battle royale and making it
into the ultimate
into
battle
a new
royale
battle
experience.
royale. Okay. Because my default answer would actually be something like World's Edge.
Okay, yeah.
You know, I think World's Edge is a great battle royale map. I really do. With 100, probably not, but World's Edge XL. That would be my answer.
I'm gonna check
Kevin.
which one's a World's Edge real quick, 'cause I don't remember.
The fiery, icy one.
Oh, you like that one? Man, people
Mhm.
hated that one for some reason. I thought it was fine.
I think all of the Apex maps are actually fine.
Yeah.
And the newest one is probably the best one. But I haven't played a ton of the new ones, so don't quote me on that one.
Yeah, I like World's Edge.
Um,
World's Edge.
What about Blackouts map?
I was
Oh,
thinking Blackout's map and the Ring of Elysium map is actually kind of cool. There's like a lot of weird things on that map, like that ridiculous amusement park with like a giant whale.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's-
it has like a good variety of terrain throughout. I feel like it's not like just flat or just water or just land.
Let's
Yeah.
say Blackouts map.
Blackouts map.
Hmm.
Blackout, yeah, Blackout is really good. It has a lot
so
of different
colorful.
places. Yeah. So many different spots. There's spots I don't even go to sometimes in Blackout when I used to play it. Like the
Yeah.
lighthouse, I would never go there sometimes. There was a
Yeah,
lighthouse there
same.
too, so it was crazy. Yeah.
All right, let's do Blackout then. That seems like a good option. How do we want to get placed / drop into the map? So, for example, Ring of Elysium, you chose a spot and you could tell where other people were going while you chose, I believe. Fallout 76, you chose, and then it would just tell you for a split second before you loaded in
Yeah.
how many other people were going to be there.
Yeah.
What other ones? Blackout is obviously like a normal Warzone type, but you could fly
Jump
really
in.
far with the Blackout one.
Yeah,
which
with the
I kind of
wingsuit,
like the
yeah.
wingsuit move because it makes it so that every spot is possible to get to relatively quickly.
And I would say that, but there's a kicker.
Yeah.
And what the kicker is the first circle has to encompass the entire map.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
That's where that's the big thing that I want more than anything.
That
I
and-
want to be able to go anywhere in the first round. I don't want the circle halfway in the ocean with just unusable. You know what I mean? I want the
Mhm.
circle to encompass all points of interest on that first round.
And
if
the
and if-
plane to go either
Down the
directly through
middle.
the center horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, either way.
Yes. That's what I want. Yeah. And if you take that blackout drop mode where you can fly and get anywhere, I think it'd be a perfect combination.
I think I'm gonna go with the Fallout method, where you just choose a point, and at the very end, like the last 2 seconds, they show you where everyone's at. I like that because it just surprises you sometimes, where you think you're safe at this spot, and then it pops up, and you get like 6 other people going there with you. It's like, oh no, it's not good. It's like gets you pumped up right at the beginning. It's pretty cool.
It's definitely interesting, like the difference, because like obviously with Warzone, a lot of our experience and hilarious moments with chopper fights on roofs, especially, is just the immediate drop in and trying to beat people to places. But like Kevin said, if you spawn in somewhere and all of a sudden you're like, oh shoot, there are 3 other teams here, I think that kind of accomplishes the same thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Which one do we want to choose then? As long as the circle at the beginning, in my opinion, is the whole map, acceptable.
Yeah, I could take it or leave any of the drops or spawns, any of that stuff, as long as I can go anywhere in the first round.
It's kind of nice to just spawn because it doesn't. You don't have to like put through all this like effort to like be like, oh, I need to land at this very specific spot.
Yeah, and you don't die in accident too. So, or someone's not killing you from behind because they're dropping in and they're right behind you, shooting you with the pistol. That happens a lot now.
Yeah, true. Let's go with that then. So with that comes like a bigger question of destruction and wall bangs and levolution. You know what I'm saying? So we have a map in mind. And like when you think of Call of Duty, for example, there's always like wooden boards or walls that are you can shoot through, and then there's some you can't. If you think of Apex, there is everything's a solid object. And then you have Fortnite where nothing is a solid object.
This
except
is
for like
really
a few specific
complex
places.
category.
What do you want though? You know, what is your preference when you're playing? Like when you're playing Apex versus when you're playing Fortnite, it's like the complete opposite experiences.
I think Call of Duty's just nailed it. I don't want to be able to destroy everything because that means nothing's off the table. Like when you can destroy anything, it takes away from so many clutch moments and crazy headshots and big plays and getting angles on people.
Getting away from things.
Yeah, I just think it really limits your scope and speed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it destroys the momentum of the game. I just don't think I would want any sort of evolution at all. But I say that without really ever having played something with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. This is sort of like, would you want to change up everything by adding Levolution? I don't know. I'd have to try it. But like for now, no. For now, I like things the way they are.
Kevin.
Damn. Do you want the Levolution? But I think Washburn's right. I think I like what Warzone does it. Because you get the crazy clips from like top of tower or something like that, and you're not worried about someone taking the tower down. But man, just thinking about that too, though, when you see like a bunch of snipers up in the tower, and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna take that tower down so they don't have fun anymore. That's funny too.
That sounds hilarious.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I think mine is like also on that borderline where it's like, I know someone's camping behind this wall and they want me to come through the one door that has it accessible. And that is just like, it's like if I could just blow open this wall, if there was breaching charges like Rainbow Six style, Kevin, like,
oh man,
that would be
something between what there is now and full destruction is what I want, I guess.
Yeah.
I just think that's such a slippery slope because if you can destroy everything, then that turns into a strategy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a strategy I would want to have to put up with.
Yeah, I agree. The other thing that I think about is like it's just like in Warzone right now, the amount of 2 to 3 story buildings that you can't get on top of except for 1 to 2 ways, and the amount of windows that you can't jump through because they're just blocked for reasons is kind of a bummer. Like, if you took the Warzone map and made it so that every single building that was 2 stories or 3 stories or anything that was taller had at least like 2 zip lines or 2 ladders up it, and the rooftop campers couldn't get away with just straight chilling all the time. Like, for example, hospital, there are 4 zip lines up. That's a lot to defend at once. But there are plenty of buildings in Warzone where we run into this issue where there's people camping in a building and there's 2 max ways to attack it, and it just feels like a bummer. I think the thing that bums me out is like the camping thing.
I get that, but usually those people are fished out by the circle anyway.
That's true, yeah. So I think our middle of the road one where we can just, breaching charge Rainbow Six style.
I like that.
Would be great.
It has to be specific walls.
Yeah.
I think if in Warzone they were they added some specific walls and areas to buildings that opened up a little bit more options for you, that would be perfect. But I don't want to just start destroying buildings because then there will be nothing. You'll just be fighting in an open field halfway through the match.
What about not only walls, but floors? Like if there's people above you, you toss, I don't know, like the C4 on the floor on the ceiling. You just blow that up, and you blow a hole, and you maybe you can drop someone down with it. So that would be pretty cool too. So give me floor ceilings type of deal. I want that.
It's just it's just like makes some of these fights more interesting in my mind because there's at least a little bit more strategy than, all right, let's all try and fish this person out by going through the 2 ways that we can, All right. And then there's the question of how the circle closes, because in a variety of games, it is different. In general, the idea is it's a circle and it closes smaller at like a rate and then stops, and then closes smaller at a rate and then stops. We also have the Ring of Elysium idea, which kind of like blacks out parts of the map and you have time to get through. And what I appreciate about that also is that your vision isn't obscured, but you're in the zone and you have to get out. So if you do get into a battle, you're not like at this weird disadvantage that is sometimes seen in Warzone where the edge of the gas is darker on one side or from one perspective than the other, and the other person gets a clear shot on you for no reason.
I think with 100 players on a map the size of the map that we're talking about, it has to be a circle. Just your standard circle. That's just how I think, and I like the Ring of Elysium way, and I think that way works really well with around 60 players in a map that's a little bit smaller. Because what's terrifying about that is, imagine if you're on a big map with 150 people, say Verdansk, just for example, and you're at hills, and the last 2 areas to not be blacked out are hills and dam. And it's just like, well, we're stuck forever, and one of the teams gets lucky at the end. You know what I mean?
I don't know if did they ever like split off? Was there like a way you could get trapped in Ring of Elysium?
I don't know, but I just feel like that'd be a monumental task for them to have to deal with. You know what I mean? If they were gonna just close off zones, they do this in Worms too. Worms does this.
Oh, really?
The new Worms game, it zones off. It's not a circle, it's zones. And I like that for that style of game and that size of map with that number of people. But when you're talking about 100 plus people, it's got to be a circle because you got to just start consolidating all of them in on a specific area. That's my opinion.
Kevin, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the circle's fine.
I guess my thing is like when you're fighting from outside the circle to in and inside the circle to out, like either have no visibility on the line or have equal visibility, not a variety of visibilities depending on where you're standing.
Man, that's
You know what I mean, Kevin?
Yeah. I'm kind of fine with the one in between. To be honest, I don't know why.
What
Just where you
It
can
just
kind of see, but not
yeah.
really.
I mean, I'm fine with it if as long as it's equal. It's like the weird thing about Warzone sometimes is that it's not equal because it's like gas instead of like a distinct line like Fortnite's circle is hypothetically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know which one I like. Which one I prefer the most. Then I guess the one. No, I don't know. I just. I don't know. I don't know really which one I would like. I prefer the most. This one can be like I can take it either way. They give me visibility. They don't. They do. I don't mind it. I don't think I'm out in the circle that often anyway. So
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, the gas like think about how many times we've died to gas mask
yeah, the thing with the gas mask
animation.
too, I feel like I wish they would give you like a button to put it on or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
that's why like I don't mind it too much. Yeah, I know we dive so much from the gas mask, but yeah,
All right. We'll just go with round
oh yeah.
as our general consensus. What are we thinking about weapons? Like, what is your top tier weapon system for? Do you want loadouts? Do you not want loadouts? Do you think like 2 guns? Do you think 4 guns? Like Fortnite has like whatever you want and you have to balance your inventory with health items or
Interesting. I do
you can also
miss.
be
Something that
like, I
keeps it.
like Halo weapons is also a perfectly
I
acceptable. You
like
don't have to
Halo
be like a
weapons.
battle royale.
Something
I'm just
that keeps
saying.
it fast and doesn't have me in my inventory.
I mean, the inventory system in Warzone is probably unparalleled in terms of speed and efficiency.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Warzone.
yeah,
I,
Warzones.
I don't. I just don't want to be in my inventory.
I do miss picking up guns and finding attachments and trying to figure out which is the right one. But yeah, if I don't want to be too much in the inventory for too long,
And you want like loadouts and stuff still.
yeah, I think Loadouts is fine. Yeah, that one's easy. Yeah, Loadouts and Warzone type of guns like that. Yeah.
And then how do we feel about special items, powers, perks? You know, we've got Apex on here. We've got what other things? Spell break,
What is it? Give me Spell
where there's
Break
just
with
like
Loadouts.
spell break with loadouts.
Yeah. God, that'd
That
be
would be
crazy.
crazy.
Imagine if there was like a Revolution with Spell Break. And
Spell break is an interesting one because you don't really care about the map. It's because you like can just fight in the open and then
yeah.
like use what buildings there are to be as shelter occasionally.
I don't know if I want actually.
Do you want perks like Warzone perks?
Yeah, I think
Or
that'd be fine. I don't know. Having ability sometimes gives you the advantage, like what we've seen in Fortnite, where you
Mhm.
have people using like Doom's powers or
Oh
Iron
yeah,
Man stuff and like that. Yeah,
I think I like what Apex does.
where you have a tactical and an ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
And it's limited.
Yeah, I
You
like
know what I
that
mean?
too.
Yeah, like character-based abilities are fine. I think. I think those are cool, as long as there's not a bunch of different characters. You know, like 50 different characters, and 7 of them are super overpowered. You know.
Yeah, but like I like the idea of Bangalore's powers being like smoke, and if someone's shooting at you, you run a little faster. Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
keeps it interesting.
Yeah, some sort of character-based abilities I think are cool, and I think Apex does a really good job with that.
yeah. None of them are overpowered too. They're all like the same level pretty much. I go with Apex ones too.
I assume for this next question, then we'll probably go with Warzone, but I'm still going to ask it because how does healing work? Because Apex and Fortnite love making you heal yourself and then also use your shield batteries or your shield chugs.
Yeah, just give me the plates.
Yeah.
Give you plates.
I mean, imagine if
regular health.
Apex didn't have if Apex had health regen and all you were doing was shield batteries, that'd be great.
Yeah.
You know,
They had a limited time mode where you only regained health if you were in a certain section of the map.
Yeah,
I thought that was interesting.
The second part of that is you have to have specific armor. So let's take that away.
Mm-hmm.
Start everybody out with, everybody's got health regen and everybody has the ability to get 100% armor, and you just have to find the refills for that on the map. So, but yes, basically what Warzone does.
Mm-hmm.
But that could work for any game. I mean, imagine if Apex, if they just took out Evo shields and everybody started with that, and you just found shield batteries around the map and they turn on health regen. It would be the same thing. So, Warzone, that style.
The fact that you don't have to do both things or manage the inventory for both items is very nice. I will agree. Do you agree, Kevin?
Yeah. I like just the plates, the shields. Regen the health, but keep us on edge with the shields. That's
and then
easier way.
The next question, of course, is can you get your teammates back? / are we gulagging?
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Yes and yes.
Because then we'll get the whole like PUBG or Fortnite 2 sometimes where
Apex 2 sometimes.
Yeah, where the guy just they don't play anymore. They're done. There's no coming back
Gulag, I mean, Gulag's not going to be in every game. I don't expect it to. That's fine, but you have to have a way to get people your teammates back. That doesn't involve picking up a reboot card.
Yeah. Oh, like a buyback. Yeah, the buyback system is awesome. There's no matter what, your friends are always playing with you, unless it's like there's no more buyback stations. But then again, around that time, it's like the end of the game anyway. So
for sure,
that's good. I like that one.
All right, and then we have movement, sliding, crouching, laying down, jumping. Are we like going Apex sliding?
Big
Call of
slides,
Duty
big vibe. You know what I mean?
Are we saying? Do we want sprint cancels in there? Or do we just want
hyperscape slide?
Ooh, hyperscape.
With wall running.
Hyperscape's movement's so good with the wall. Ooh, so you're saying Titanfall is what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Titanfall movement.
Hyperscape's movement.
Hyperscape's movement.
Yeah, I think they perfected it. It's vertical. It's fast. It's fun. It's fluid. It's everything.
I do feel like they should have had wall running in Hyperscape though.
Dude, that would have made it my one thing. So much better.
I mean, it like makes sense for the way that city was laid out.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't go with it. But
Ooh, when we were talking about how the circle closes, that would have been a good one to mention too.
It's zones. It's I mean,
well, it's still like a zone thing, but like it slowly degrades, and then there's nothing to hide behind, and you have to like run in.
Oh yeah,
very cool.
That is pretty cool.
I thought that was one of the cooler thoughts that they had.
And in a way, that kind of helps out the game too, because there's not many things to render anymore too. So it won't get choppy towards the end, even though it doesn't really. But yeah.
Damn, there's been so many games that are just like almost there that I feel like we could have ended up playing more than Warzone, and they just couldn't pull it off, you know.
Legs, player base.
Yeah.
And what
learning curve.
Yeah, and honestly, and it sounds silly, but COVID. I mean, like Warzone. We've talked about this before. It came out when everybody was forced inside.
Yeah,
and that gave it just a massive boost, and the fact that the game's damn near perfect definitely helps. But there was a COVID bump, and I think they're still benefiting from it.
Yeah, probably. All right, and then are we talking tanks? Are we talking planes? Are we talking trains? Are we talking automobiles? Are we talking hang gliders? Are we talking BMX bikes? Are we skateboarding around the entire map?
Everything but no tanks.
No tanks.
Mm-hmm.
You want planes, trains, and automobiles?
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
planes, dude. Oh man, that'd be
Give me as
crazy.
many unique ways to get around as possible. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's all. That's all this is.
Like the many wild ways that you can get around the map with Ring of Elysium,
Yeah.
with the BMX bike and the hang glider and
Grapple
all that
hook.
good stuff. Grapple hook, yeah.
Yep.
Damn, that game has
Planes, trains, and automobiles. Maybe even some submarines. You know what I mean?
submarines.
Yeah, there was some reason in Ring of Elysium. I forgot about
They had
that.
they had
little
the
thing that
sea
like drags
glide.
you.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Damn.
That game is so close to being good. If it had player base, it might be interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be more interesting than PUBG if it had a player base.
I
Oh,
just
yeah.
don't. Yeah. Whatever. That game is whatever.
Yeah. It had cool ideas though.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of cool ideas, but it's just a hodgepodge of cool ideas and
Yeah.
not much else.
I do want there to come out a battle royale to come out, and then the way to get around the thing is just like it's like, oh, the zone's closing, let me skateboard or like BMX my
Skateboard
way
out
out
of
here.
there.
It'd be so funny.
Skateboard, but if someone's like your friend's driving a car, you can just hang from the back of it, dude. And you just ride with them like that, dude. Oh man.
So you're saying Skate 3
Skate 3, dude.
movement?
Ooh.
That'd be wild. And then is there any like miscellaneous mechanics that you can think of from another game that you'd be like, oh, that'd be cool. Like, maybe you want to rappel off the roof Rainbow Six style and bust through a window.
Ooh. That'd be cool. Give me that.
Either redeployable parachutes at
Mm,
all times or no fall damage.
that's a good call. I forgot about fall damage.
Gotta get rid of fall damage.
If we're wall running,
damage.
then yeah, there can't be no fall damage.
Fall damage is garbage.
I mean, I had no fall damage last night. You guys saw that? It was crazy.
I know. That
Did
was
we ever
weird.
clip that? We should have
I
clipped
did.
that.
I clipped it.
Okay, nice. That was so weird.
Watchman's reaction to it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
It's just I was shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked
I
and
was
then
too.
confused, and he's like, then laughter after that. So many emotions
You
going
like my thought process is that you ran into the wall at just enough of an angle before you hit the ground that it was like, oh, your momentum stopped.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. And I was like, I wonder if that works for everything. And I was trying to do it again on the big tower I jumped off of, but I couldn't get the right wall to hit.
I feel like the only way you could recreate it is if you hit like the first floor height of something and like right into it and then fell down and see if it worked.
I'll do some testing. We'll see that. We'll see what happens there.
As we just spend like 20-30 minutes wrecking ourselves jumping off of roofs.
Fun time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, really redeployable parachutes, very important, or no fall damage is nice.
Repelling, that's cool.
Repelling would be cool. But also, if you're going to jump off of a roof, why would you repel? Unless you're like trying to break into a certain level, Rainbow Six style, and just like swing through the window.
That'd be pretty cool, though. Prize them.
It would be cool. I feel like that kind of goes with our, maybe you can break through a few walls where people like to camp.
Yeah.
But yeah. Overall. Oh, and are we like of the end circle just ends in like one spot, or are we like a movable end circle scenario?
I like the move.
I do too.
I think it just prevents people from, like you said, camping, or you know what I mean, finding a hidey hole and just staying there.
Mm-hmm.
I also think it prevents the heal off situation that happens when you have a 3-floor building.
That's true. Yeah.
Where you can't get anywhere. Like it happens in Apex every once in a while for sure, where it will end in a spot where someone is below and they can't get to each other without dying because the circle hits so hard at the end. So it's just like, all right, I guess we'll see who has more syringes.
Yeah, better having to move it than anyone play. I don't like that.
All right. So to summarize our ultimate battle royale experience, we have the blackout map, You get placed on the map like it's Fallout 76. The destruction is somewhere in between Warzone and more destruction.
One of the two. Who knows?
That's a pretty wide range.
It is. We have tactical and ultimate abilities from Apex. We have healing that works like Warzone. We have weapons from Warzone, basically. Warzone inventory, loadouts. You can get your teammates back and you go to the gulag because it's important to 1v1, you know? Got to keep the brain sharp, as they say. Movement, we're like going hyperscape style. So it's
with wall running.
All sorts of, yeah. And then we want planes, trains, automobiles, everything.
No tanks.
BMX bikes, anything that gets you across the map quick.
Yeah, just no tanks. No tanks.
Just no tanks. Nothing that does damage while you're using it.
Yeah.
And then we have redeployable parachutes and rappelling. I think we've created the perfect battle royale. I think we should hire some devs.
Let's pitch it.
All right, cool. Perfect. And I think that's all we got for you this week. This has been another episode of the Squad Pod. I hope you all enjoyed our silly shenanigans this week. I certainly did.
Who wouldn't?
I'm sure we'll be sure to clip out that intense discussion about the DualSense triggers to make all the PlayStation fans mad.
Ooh.
Until then, though, Kevin,
Calms out.
You did it. Congrats.